Joost, thanks very much for joining us here at Pravada. A lot of focus on ESG.
Yeah.
How do you see that, particularly in terms of future-proofing and also looking specifically at logistics?
What we see is that there is a big shifting in demand. And that is, we need the logistics buildings more and more by the way we're going to live. The electrification, the logistic buildings will consume much more energy because of electric vehicles in the last miles, electronic picking systems, etc., etc. But there's also a lot of regulations coming on for logistic buildings because people think they are ugly and there are boxes and landscaping problems, zoning problems, and you have to take that all in account. But you also can see it into the future. We need them, they are ugly and they are big. So if you can see it to the energy consumption and looking the way forward, you can also use the potential of those buildings much better. And if we see to the future, what would be then the most beneficial is make them as an energy house.
So from that point of view, what you're saying there, Joost, is that the building creates the energy completely that is going to be used inside that building.
Yeah, and therefore there is other energy produced, some green energy produced somewhere else can be used on the right places. Also you can use the extra space for extra energy production, but we think that we have to look into the future, and the best thing is not to rent out your roof to a company because that's not self-consumption, that's only production. You have to do it behind the meter, and then is the building most sustainable. And then you have an energy source standing.
What's going to drive that? Is that sort of plainly the occupiers? I suppose there will be demand for them to be able to have cheap, accessible energy.
For the tenant, it will be that they can say we bring your package zero neutral, carbon neutral. On the other hand, electricity cost is their main cost. So cheap, green, self-produced energy will absolutely make their case. But most important are the accountancy rules coming up, from obligatory to mandatory. And that means behind the meter or before the meter is really a big difference. Because on the other hand, you sell out your roof to another company. It's not anymore yours, but that company is making money by selling the energy you're producing on your roof to the grid. You have to buy it from the grid to the high price with all the taxes and everything on it. Why? You can do it yourself, it's very easy. Now, we help you with that. But if you look into the future, you know the rule is coming on that you have to do self-consumption. That accounts to ESG goals, not buying green certificates.
No, really interesting. I think that's going to be a hugely growing area to focus on.
Yeah.
Thanks very much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Richard.